Sandstorms and rainfall disrupted the opening day of free practice at the 8 Hours of Bahrain, as Toyota ended up fastest and Ferrari struggled across 3 hours of running. Kamui Kobayashi ended the day quickest with a 1:46.851, just 51 thousandths slower than last year's pole time, and 4 tenths quicker than teammate Brendan Hartley. Alex Lynn was third for Cadillac, from Will Stevens in the privateer Hertz Team Jota Porsche, and Kevin Estre in the Works 963, whilst Nico Mueller rounded out the top 6 for Peugeot Total Energies. Toyota made the most of the bad situation all teams faced to end both sessions 1-2 and complete the most laps of anyone. The GR010 Hybrid has reaffirmed itself as the car to beat this weekend, as the two teams prepare to fight it out for the Drivers' World Championship. Cadillac Racing were optimistic entering this weekend, and today's pace has proven it as they look like the most competitive they have done since Le Mans. From what we've seen so far, it looks like a Cadillac v Porsche fight is scheduled for Saturday, but the gap to Toyota really isn't that big. Hertz Team Jota had a strong day and were rewarded with plenty of laps on the board and the 4th quickest time. They're also the subject of probably my favourite of the stunning wet photos we got from FP1, several teams deciding to have a bit of wet running due to the risk of more rain tomorrow. It only rains 26 days a year in Bahrain, but it's already hit the track twice this week, and we're only on Thursday. Porsche Penske Motorsport can be pleased with today, as the Porsche 963 has proven to be a competitive package this weekend, but they prefer to be ahead of the customer cars rather than right in amongst them. Porsche ended the day in 5th and 9th, with their one issue being the number 6 doing the least running of any hypercar in the critical night practice session. Peugeot Total Energies ended up 6th and 8th, looking much stronger in FP2 than FP1, where they made plenty of stops and tweaks to both 9X8s. This looks like a repeat of how they approached Bahrain last year, where they aimed to be as strong as possible in the nighttime hours. Proton Competition ended free practice 1 an impressive 3rd, but end the day 7th as others improved in the quicker FP2. Still, it was a very promising performance for the team in just their 3rd hypercar weekend, Gianmaria Bruni doing the job by putting in some stellar lap times. Ferrari AF Course will be scratching their heads tonight as they found themselves way off the pace back in 10th and 11th, over 3 seconds down on Kobayashi. The one saving grace is that they had clearly resigned themselves to race runs for the most part, and on race pace seemed more competitive than on the qualifying sim they made. But so far at least, Ferrari's lack of optimism heading into the weekend is proving justified, although the prancing horse do have a history of playing BOP games in practice in Bahrain. And Floyd Vanwall Racing Team round out the hypercar field, but can be happy as they were less than half a second off the 51 Ferrari and ahead of all of the LMP2s. Free practice 1 proved to be a nightmare for the teams, as a loose hoarding and a sandstorm caused the session to be red flagged after just 10 minutes. After a long delay, the session was extended by 45 minutes to make up for the lost time, but most of this time ended up in wet conditions after a rain shower. Free practice 2, held at night, was much cleaner, with just one red flag stoppage which again saw time added back on, as well as a dry track in conditions close to those we'll be racing under. The constant interruptions meant a day of teams constantly changing up their run plans, and most likely everyone still has some things on the to-do list for FP3 tomorrow. Felipe Albuquerque went quickest in LMP2 for United Autosports, with Mirko Bortolotti second for Prema and Charles Malisi third for Alpine, as under a second split the top 7 in LMP2. All the LMP2 teams simply went around their business in a clean and timely manner, with the only spot of bother being Julian Canal earning a trip to the stewards after potentially overtaking under full course yellow. And in LMGTM, it was Daniel Serra who went quickest for Kessel Racing, just 87 thousandths ahead of Ricardo Pera in the GR Racing Porsche. The pace looks very promising over at Aston Martin, with Ahmed Al-Hati top bronze and 7th quickest overall, whilst WEC rookie Liam Talbot was the 3rd fastest bronze in the D-Station car. Matteo Cairoli put the Project 1 Rexy Porsche 3rd quickest, but an off in FP2 for Gunnar Jeanette brought out the red flags, and the messages from the team don't sound all that positive about their prospects for the rest of the weekend. AF Corsa's hypercar woes weren't treated in GTE either, as the 21 and 83 both ran into issues, and all 3 cars ended up in the bottom 4 on the timing chart. Tomorrow, things get serious with a critical qualifying session, where the bonus point for pole position is hugely important for the number 8 Toyota. If they take pole, as they did last year, finishing 3rd will be enough to guarantee them the title if the sister car wins, rather than the 2nd place they'd currently need to be. Qualifying takes place at 16:15 local time, which is 13:15 UTC, and before then is practice 3 at noon local, which is live and free with no geo restrictions on the WEC YouTube channel. What are your impressions after free practice? And who is your favourite for pole position? Please let me know in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, why not press that like button and subscribe to the channel? It really helps me out.